digs at the Democrats because the Democrats are having a bit too much of a good time. And I'm just looking at y'all like, y'all haven't really came up with any plan. And the plan can't be just F Trump. And I've been told you that y'all own party's not even falling for that. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and get into how the Democrats over cockiness is not really going to get them anything.
Congressional Dems have the right priorities. Look at this. Overall, 74%, nearly 3 in 4 say no. Just 25% overall say yes. You might say, okay, well, at least Dems like Democrats. Not the case. Look at this. The majority of Democrats are independents who lean Democrats. Look at this. 55% say no, congressional Democrats do not have the right priorities.
Now, we know Donald Trump's approval rating has gone into a death spiral.
Hey, yo, shout out to Outlaw Asher. Yeah, maybe we get a regime change in Israel. Guarantee we get a regime change in Israel, bro. This whole war stops today. Whole war stops today because, bro, Israel don't benefit from this. Bro, they're getting attacked from Yemen. They're getting an attack from Lebanon and Iran. Trust me, the people of Israel, they get no benefit. So, yeah, like Bibi, the Likud party, bro, they need to get chased out of Israel.
Oh, but that's done no favors for the Democrats. Their popularity has remained underwater throughout the Trump administration, despite Trump's constant own goals. As you'll see in this next clip, part of the problem is Democratic leadership.
It was real.
This is a trend line going back through the years, midterm elections in which there's a GOP president. Look at this. In 2006, Dems' net approval of congressional Democratic leaders was plus 28. You go back to the last midterm, look at that, plus 19. Very much on the positive side. The bottom has fallen out. The bottom has fallen out. Minus 4 points. That is Democrats' own net approval of their own congressional leaders. Even Democrats don't like their own leaders when it comes to Congress. And overall, of course, the numbers are just absolutely awful. So Democrat on Democrat crime.
Because Dems be playing the most, like, I'm gonna be real with you. They're so two-faced, especially Schumer and what's his name? Hakeem Jeffries. They'll play in your face like they're against this. They'll play in your face like, oh, we're against this war and we don't like that Israel dragged us in there and all this good stuff. But behind closed doors, they're all in support of it. Like, they'll sit there and speak out loud about it. But let's be real, they're not doing ish to stop this war at all whatsoever. So it's so funny when I hear the Dems sit there and be like, see, we told you he was going to get y'all into a war. Yeah, but here's the thing. Y'all was upfront about the war y'all wanted to get us into. Y'all was talking about getting into a war with Russia. And then let's not forget that under Biden, the genocide popped off under Biden. And y'all want to talk about kids. So how many kids died under Biden in Palestine? Since we want to hop on that conversation. I thought so. Okay.
Absolutely. This to me screams, again, primary challenges across the map.
Now, case in point, in response to Trump's wartime address on Wednesday night, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized Trump for everything except actually going to war with Iran. Posting on X, has there ever been a more rambling, disjointed, and pathetic presidential war speech? Donald Trump's actions in Iran will be considered one of the greatest policy blunders in the history of our country, failing to articulate objectives, alienating allies, and ignoring the kitchen table problems Americans are facing. He is completely unfit to be commander-in-chief, and the whole world knows it. But the fact of the matter is that Americans are furious with both parties, according to a new poll from CNN. Just 28% of Americans hold a favorable view of the Democratic Party, with the Republican Party a few points higher at 32%. On the Democratic side, 72% say that a divide over the nation's approach to Israel is causing problems within.
Hold on, sky's the limit. They on the right now with Professor Jang? Really? On PBD?
In the party. About 2/3 of the Democratic Party is facing problematic divides over its priorities and its ideological position, with a smaller 58% majority seeing the party divided on whether Democratic elected officials should ever cooperate with Trump. Brett, I mean, we're seeing, blind, just party ballot polling showing Democrats have maybe a 6-point edge in the midterms, roughly a 3 to 4% margin of error. It feels like that should be a lot higher, and I think that reflects poorly on leadership.
Because you're not saying anything. Like I said, the F Trump agenda can only take y'all so far. It only works with the radical leftists. Like the sensible Dems aren't hearing that shit. All they're hearing is complaining, and they're not hearing any game plan. And that's what's irritating people about the Democratic Party. Y'all spend way too much time bitching and not really coming up with a plan to help this country that you're complaining so much about right now. Like, I'm sorry, but that's why we see you guys is weak, because instead of actually putting in some real leadership, you're over there crying about Trump all day. And I know I'm saying this as a conservative. Shoot, ask your Democratic brethren; they feel the same way. I got guys who vote Dems that are on here all the time, and they feel the same way. Yes, they agree with you guys on the F Trump agenda, but they also agree that y'all ain't really doing nothing.
What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where you could talk about it for a very long time. So what does Democrat mean? So there's a lot of people who identify as Democrat who think that the other half of the party is wrong, right? Do I think if I'm a progressive Democrat, am I happy with the establishment Democrats? No. Am I an establishment Democrat who's mad about these like new up and coming feisty people who have no respect? They got no respect. Yeah, they'll say that they don't like the other part of it. And what you need to understand right now is right now I'm pretty sure that independents outnumber either party's identification. And depends on where you look, but it used to be like if all the Democrats show up, they win elections. But now it's not the case, not because there's more Republicans, but because there's fewer Democrats. Is because people are looking for some kind of answer. There's been a lot of ways.
But all right, though, let's go ahead and get past this one. And let's get back to, well, I believe it was, bro, me and Chad was reacting to this. It was Alex Jones completely going off on the Trump administration. Bro, damn near, I ain't gonna lie. When people were saying that, oh, he's starting to sound like a lefty, he's saying that Donald Trump got this, that, and the third. He got swollen ankles, heart condition, dementia. And it's just like, yeah, he is starting to sound like the lefties. But I mean, hey, man, if it's coming from our own side too, then we got to go ahead and actually look into this. We ain't going to sit here and pull a Biden now. Like, look, we ain't going to sit here and watch Trump crumble in front of our face. We're just going to sit there and act blind like the Dems did for Biden. We ain't doing that. But I mean, I'm seeing it a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Like the man's still able to have a complete speech. So it's nothing like Biden at all. But I mean, if I'm to be honest, the way he speaks from when he was on the campaign and the energy he had in his voice is like completely gone now.
When your ankles swell up 3 times the size they were before, that means heart failure. And he does look sick. And he does babble and, sound like the brain's not doing too hot.
I'm done. Come on now. Trump always been bad.
And so we just cut bait on Trump and we just mobilize against the Democrats. Yeah. This is not funny. This is not good. But he's gone. And that's it.
Okay, Alex.
Okay. I mean, I agree with what Alex Jones said there. It's just that the messenger might not be the best person to provide the message. The whole thing about he looks sick, he keeps babbling, he doesn't seem like he's well. Okay. But anyway, it's very clear that Trump is losing support. And I think he's losing support for good reason. Now it turns out that some of the MAGA loyalists are finally jumping ship. And we'll get to more of that later. But first, I can't help myself. Here's a little bit more from Alex Jones.
Trump is in free fall. And that means we're in free fall in the midterms. Unless Republican candidates say, we are real America firsters. We like Trump in the past. We're sorry he's obviously had an aneurysm or something or a stroke. But we're not Trump. We're going to stop the Democrats and their plan for defunding the police and open borders and transgenderism and pedophilia and men and women's sports and giant tax increases and gun confiscations. We just say, we're the original populist Tea Party Republicans that got Trump in. Just because he's been betraying us, we're not. That is the clear way out of this. We have to say, too bad Trump ran off the edge of a cliff. I don't think he's coming back from it. But triage him, isolate him, and explain, we're not him and we're not the Democrats 10 times worse. We're not the Democrats 10 times worse, and we're not him, and we're morally against this, and blowing up Iranian water supplies he's talking about, war crime any way you cut it. Put pressure on him not to do that.
Please.
And just continue.
Please, brother, don't let it be there's just a few of us here in MAGA that just like, or I guess the remnants of MAGA. Please don't let it be just me, Alex Jones, and Tucker Carlson. I heard telling y'all that, yo, this is war crimes, and we should probably hold our president a little bit more accountable, not letting him think he could do whatever we want, and we're just gonna go like, yeah, Trump, fuck yeah, America. It's like, I mean, you know me, I love to do that, but not for this reason right here.
You on the moral, proper way to behave, not stick our finger in the wind and see which way it's blowing.
All right, lessons from Alex Jones on the moral, proper way to behave. Got it. Okay. Well, he's not the only one who has turned on Trump. To give you an idea of just how historically unpopular Trump has become, I mean, what better source than the very enthusiastic Harry Enton? Take a look.
This has been a steady fall into the abyss. There is no bottom. Death Valley, Death Sea. That is how low we are going. And look at this. I think this really just kind of shows that it is not one event that is dragging Donald Trump down. It's a slew of events that have come together and have continuously dropped his net approval rating. You know, you go back to last year when he was sworn in for a second term. He was at plus 6 points. Then minus 3 points a year ago. Minus 7 points 9 months ago. Minus 10 points in October 2025. January 2026, minus 13 points. And now all the way down to minus 18 points. If there's one big number from this, is that Donald Trump now has the worst net approval rating among independents of any president ever at this point in term 2. He is worse than Richard Nixon, who would be going adios amigos in a few months back in 1974.
You know, those numbers make a lot of sense because if you looked at that, for those listening to the audio version of the show, Harry Enton showed some of the other unpopular former presidents, right? You've got Nixon, and then you have George W. Bush at negative 37 approval rating, right? When you consider where he was at when he was first elected versus where he ended up. With Trump, it's negative 45. And that makes sense because even though George W. Bush was absolutely horrible, his administration was full to the brim with war criminals.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. The man's bushing it right now. He's completely bushing it, going into war. What happened after war? The economy got effed up. It's like he's bushing it. And after that, bro, we ain't never trust conservatives the same or look at the Republican Party the same again. And it seems like the cycle's about to happen again with Trump. It's like y'all understand what happened after Bush, bro. Dems was running it for years because of how bad Bush effed up. And if Trump does it the same way and bushes it, oh yeah, guys. Like, bro, yeah, the Dems are gonna run it. Or at least maybe we're gonna start probably, I don't know, this might be a whole change in the political movement. We actually might start voting in, you know, third party candidates, independents, instead of just going to either the Republicans or the Dems, because now we're sick of both these bastards.
They were still smart enough to not get dragged into a war with Iran. Okay, like with Trump, there's the corruption angle, right? There's the capture by Israeli interests. And then there's the incompetence on top of that. And the fact that he was high on his own supply after kidnapping the leader of Venezuela. So he was very easy to manipulate and convince that this is just gonna be a short military operation in Iran. You have nothing to worry about. Iran is so weak, they're historically weak. We have weakened them so much that this is your only opportunity to take them out.
I hope they didn't believe that.
He did this without securing a plan when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. So yeah, he deserves those numbers. He probably does.
I mean, yeah, sadly, he kind of does. Yeah, he does. Like I said, though, he can always, you know, walk out of this, start working on the economy and affordability again, and possibly save himself in time for midterms. It's not too late. But a month or two in, it's going to be too late. It's going to be over. Like really 2 months, 3 months in, it's going to be over for Trump. And there's really nothing good we're going to be able to do for the Republican Party. And all we can sit there is and blame them for being taken over by the Zionists. You know, I'm not going to feel bad for them. I'm like, look, y'all wanted to go pro-war for Zionists, pro-war for Israel. And that's going to cost y'all the Senate and the House. And yeah, nobody blame but yourselves. Like, don't get mad at us. Get mad at y'all. Don't try to call me anti-Semitic. Bro, get mad at yourselves for not keeping up with y'all promises and y'all commitments. Like, sorry, we're not gonna sit here and watch gas go up and then you tell us, oh, but Biden. I know you guys promised lower gas prices. We have that expectation. How y'all go sit there and watch gas prices go up and be like, oh, well, you know, it's not as bad as Biden. Yeah, tell that to the middle class and lower who's dealing with that for real and who really it hurts. Please repeat that to them. Hopefully they don't slap you in the mouth. Hopefully. But all right, let's get into our guy Myron. He was cooking.
We are losing influence. We just got our closest allies in the Gulf completely cooked and destroyed. We're threatening to destroy them right now because anyone that's smart saw the red flag. As soon as he said, oh, we're going to destroy the plants, I was like, no, because if you destroy those plants in Iran, they're bombing the Gulf. Trump doesn't have a plan because he thought this would be done in 3 days. These niggas are ready to go for 3 years. It's not the same. So here's what's going on. Trump is writing checks he can't cash. But unfortunately, our allies in the Gulf are cashing it reluctantly. Do you think that they're going to want to work with the United States when we let them dry and get destroyed? Hell no. So you can kiss the petrodollar influence goodbye. Oh, okay. Mario has Larry Johnson. Let's see what's happening here.
He left is because of our opposition to this war. So I think this is just more petty politics.
But it's also the